Before moving on to the video itself, just want to say today is the 30th of December 2022, so tomorrow is the last day of the year. So this is probably the last video of 2022 or eventually the first video of 2023. So Happy New Year everybody, and best wishes for the next year. The year is approaching. Okay, cheap and easy are my favorite words when it comes to my modeling stuff. If I can combine them together, well, that's perfect. When I decided to build sidewalks on here on my layout, on the part of the car tracks, I considered a couple of materials. I first thought of using cards. It's kind of grey card, which I have a few pieces of it. This one here had a cat attack. It has a good thickness, about 2 millimeters, and I have been using these on the other platforms on my station, and I like the result. But for the sidewalks I wanted to have a cleaner look, so this wasn't the best idea. Afterwards, and besides that, it's a bit hard to create the carvings. I could do it, but wasn't the best material. After that I thought I could use eventually balsa wood, like this one. This is 2 millimeter sheet also, so the right thickness. It's very easy to work with, but balsa is not a cheap material and it's not easy to get here where I live, and the texture is a bit too much. For instance, I love balsa, and this was made with balsa wood. Let the camera focus. 2 millimeter sheet on this one, and the inner beams with the 3 millimeter sheet. I made all of this of balsa, even those windows, and I can show you the door. Balsa wood. So balsa, it's amazing material, but it's a kind of expensive and not that easy to get. So for the sidewalks I thought it would probably not the best idea. Then I thought I could use ice cream sticks. They have good thickness, they are easy to get and cheap, but they are very hard. It's a very hard wood to work, and they have a rounded edge which would give me some trouble, and for a bigger area like the one in the castle, I'll show you the pictures, probably would not be the best idea, because it would be something like this, and not the best result. So I even tried out with these ones. I painted them to make it look like a sidewalk. I got another one here, but I find it would be a bit too hard to work on this. And so that's when I saw the video from Armando on the Candle Hobbies YouTube channel. Greetings, Armando. And he was using EVA foam, and I thought, well, why not? EVA foam, it's not expensive, it's something that I can easily get here where I live. It has a good thickness, the 2 millimeters, about 2 millimeters. It's very soft material. It has a good thickness. It's very soft. It has an interesting texture. You see, it doesn't reflect the light. It's not shiny. So it's very interesting texture. Has a cleaner look than the card. It's very soft, so we can work on it with a hobby knife or even with a sharp pencil. I'll get to that later. It accepts water-based materials like acrylic paints or PVA glue, which is also great. And another interesting thing, it comes in very many colors. I got this light gray, which is great for concrete. I got myself also this light brown. If you, let's say you want to make a dirt road, or like a garden, or even let's say a soccer field with dirt. This is great, just some painting will be great. But then we have green, red, I got a bunch of this pieces, yellow, uh, blue, and this one has this shiny. I could use this, we could use this for a kind of a lake, a small lake or a pond. I think it would be nice on the context of the layout. It's not realistic, but I think it would work. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use this on another project, a very small project, but next video, another video. There is also black and white, other shades of brown, other tones of other shades of gray, so many colors, which allows us to use the material just as it is. So I decided to try out EVA foam to make my sidewalks, and as I said, I got the gray one, it's a kind of concrete color. And the beauty of it is that I could, with the same material, the same tools and the same technique, I was able to create 3 different kinds of sidewalks. The first one has the kind of a modern look, sidewalk with the big concrete slabs. To do that, and all the three pieces that I made, I cut the piece to the desired shape and size. I use for the first piece, I use a pencil. Now we have different kinds of pencils. We have softer pencils, and the green and the blue ones are harder, the harder core. Then we have the regular one for writing. And there are more of these, of course, you all probably know that. And the softer one. So with one of them with a hard core, and with a sharp tip, not like this, I drew the lines on the piece basically. Then after drawing the lines with a pencil, I used some coloring pencils to give it some shades, and make a brush. Then I blurred it. On the second one I used the same technique, but since I wanted thinner lines to make the small bricks, concrete bricks, I used the hobby knife to cut the lines slowly. And then basically the same thing with the pencils and the makeup brush. I just blurred it, give it some weathering. For the other one, the main one, on the castle area, I did something slightly different. I wanted to have more detail, so what I did, I first put the pieces, the houses and the fountain, on top of the piece after I cut it to the right shape. Once that was done, I drew the lines, the contours of the pieces, both the 2 houses and the fountain, the places where they were going to stay. Then I made the ledge, I designed the ledge of both of the pieces. And then when that was done, then again with the sharp knife, with the hobby knife, I drew a couple of parallel lines, a lot of parallel lines along the piece. And then on the 90-degree angle lines around the piece without touching the other details that I have previously put. The doorways, the pieces around the fountain, all of that. In order to create it a more classical shade, a more classical color, instead of using then the pencil to color it, what I did, I made a wash of my acrylic dark gray as a kind of a bluish tone, but it wasn't a problem for this because it was supposed to be stone. So I gave it a wash, with the dark gray all over it to enhance the, the lines and the shadows of the stones. And then afterwards, with a little dry brush, not white, not totally white, the color I usually use, it's an ivory tone. With that color then, dry brushed, I ran over the whole thing. And with that I created a sidewalk, easy way, with the cheap material, and I think it looks good. So this is what I wanted to share. Cheap and easy materials, easy tools, cheap materials, cheap tools, and an easy technique, and I created a sidewalk that looks fine. Of course, in the end, after the pieces were done, I put some PVA glue all around it and then glue it in place, and it looks fine. So basically that's it. Hope you liked it. Leave me a comment what you think about this. I have a few tips, more ideas about this. About the colored, as I said before, the colored PVA, EVA foam. That's for a small project I have, but that will be for later. So that's it, and have a great year, and I hope we have a better year, 2023. Let's hope for the best, and that's it. See ya in the next video.